is the Super Disc update from National University of Science and Technology with your boy Unjabulo Proud Moyo Isanlebu Kalanga from the Department of Journalism and Media Studies. So today we're going to look at the issue of 2020 season for the Kaslaga Premier Soccer League, which was expected to start beginning of March, but then COVID-19 happened. So this season is expected to begin by the end of August or mid of September. But today I have a renowned sports analyst from Sky's Metro FM, Mr. Poseidon Dabeso, to give us some more information concerning the issue.
Yeah, this season Ogamanje, there's really nothing much happening, and it's going to be a very painful for, if you're looking at our players and our clubs, it's going to be a painful season. If I think we're looking at about 3 or 4 of the teams at the present moment, their key sponsor has pulled out, so it's going to be a very strenuous situation as Kayelama clubs. And one of the things, looks like the season is likely to start later, which is probably August and September, but Jesse was it, His Excellency has said we're in level 2 indefinitely, which will be reviewed every 2 weeks depending on the number of cases of COVID that we have. So we can't really put it definitely and say that was definitely starting end of August or into September. Okamanje siyacabangela nje, siyazi nje ukuthi overseas, I know overseas English teams seem to be coming together. I think namhlanje they are voting to decide ukuthi training abiyaqalisa nini. We saw Bundesliga has already started in action, 3 days of action from the Bundesliga, but obviously Castle Premier Soccer League is going to be a tricky one, JB, very, very tricky one for the season.
Yeah, kubi kakhulu for iKaslaga Premier Soccer League. But then now in masikhumbula ukuthi khona in 2018 they were talking about aligning the Kaslaga Premier Soccer League with the international calendar, which starts from August to May. But then this time around, can we say that COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise, or it is a curse?
I would put it as a curse because one, our stadium is a silao. The reason why we've never really taken up the August starting of the league is because of the stadiums that we have issues of waterlogging of our stadiums there. That is why the league has always remained the way it is. Rainy season yet you're looking at October, November, it rains even heavier in December, it takes a bit of a break. January, February, then it pounds again, and then obviously continues raining probably until about Easter, April. So the question is, do the stadiums that we have, besides the issue of waterlogging, Tina ma supporters silama umbrella.
Yeah, that's where the issue is. And then the other issue, it was on Ama Stadiums, even before COVID-19. Only, I think it's about 6 stadiums that were allowed to host a Kaslaga Premier Soccer League matches. But then this time around, I don't think it will be something but now ukuthi season iyaqalisa on August, September. What are the teams going to do then?
I'm sure by the time we get to August, September, as you know, that we had the issues of farmer stadiums here to not being homologated, also not only on the local front but also by CAF at the present moment. Government is trying by all means. I know Baba feels they're trying to bring it up to scratch. They're also doing the same thing with the stadiums in Harare. But also the question is, it goes back to the same issue that I raised. Even if these stadiums are being fixed, JP, they're not being fixed for the spectators' point of view. They're being fixed maybe in terms of waterlogging, but Tinama supporters have That's
because the other issue is. But then now, when we're looking at this thing, maybe let's say it's the rainy season or it is a COVID-19. In English Premier Soccer League and Bundesliga, they are planning on playing behind closed doors, and actually Bundesliga they've started playing behind closed doors. Can our team, actually from this side is Zimbabwe Kaslaga Premier Soccer League, play behind closed doors, basing the argument that most of the income comes from gate takings?
The bulk of teams here to locally, they're surviving purely on gate takings. And even if you're looking at the issue of sponsors come into the world of football because they're looking at the spectator, they're looking at the person who's coming to watch the game. So obviously looking at these games taking place in front of an empty stadium. Secondly, we don't have, at the present moment, we don't have the capacity for us to beam all the games that will be taking place at the same time. It's totally different, the European scenario. You're guaranteed all games go live. So the sponsors also now have value for money. Will our sponsors be willing to continue in a situation where the games are behind closed doors, there are no spectators, not all the games will be beamed live on television, on radio. Siyazi nje ukuthi previous seasons we've had issues of our television rights, which is why we have not really seen much action taking place, unless if we're going to have a scenario whereby we take advantage of social media, we watch these games on YouTube, we watch these games on Facebook. But the question is a corporate world, current corporate world, do they have the capacity to go along that route? Because obviously with the situation of COVID-19, the lockdown, a lot of companies have not been active at the present moment, and normally what suffers most is the marketing budget. So most companies, their first point of call is to streamline the marketing budgets. If you look at one of the key sponsors in Kumama teams, one of the sponsors said, look, we're suspending a contract yet because we want to concentrate on COVID. So they've already reduced in terms of resources for some of the key teams. So now those teams need to go and find other players that will come in and help with the players' salaries, training allowances, and bonuses, and so forth. So it's a mess, actually.
It's a mess, actually. And then now, maybe when we're talking about, you talked about the issue of TV rights and other things. So then what can we say Kasilaga Premier League can do to make sure that they make sure TV rights is being solved, the issue of TV rights is being solved, and then also the issue of broadcasting games, because most of the people were complaining about games that are not being broadcasted, because the only time you watch a Kasilaga Premier Soccer League match is only when you are there live at Baba Stadium or at Mandawa Stadium.
It comes back to capacity. Do we have the capacity for us to be able to beam all those games all at possibly the same time? I feel we need to start thinking outside the box. As a nation, we need to start taking advantage of technology. I think there is no harm in us being afforded the opportunity to watch the games on our cell phones. It's also now coming in with the different players, telecommunication players coming in. Let's say you're part of Network X, and Network X says you can watch the games for free as long as you subscribe to ABCD. So they do what they call whitelisting. So you can whitelist certain applications within a certain network, and people are able to watch those games. Or we can beam those games on Facebook. But it goes back to the question is, do we have capacity to actually record all those games and put them live at exactly the same time? Because most of those games are dlala ngeSaturday, umbeni ngeSunday, ngo-3. So whoever gets those rights now comes back to capacity. The only person the only company which is possibly able to do that is possibly SuperSport. But even when we had SuperSport, they never covered all the games. Yeah. They would pinpoint and pick the key games that had some form of monetary value. Okay. So what happens if the two small teams that have come into the league, they're playing against each other, interesting. So those are the games that will probably go onto Facebook and views are 20.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors in place which need to come together. In terms of the league going forward, if the lockdown continues, I'm looking at Castle Premier League, PSL sitting down with Castle. They may be imali, which part of the sponsorship that's going needs to be divided across the teams. We have a situation where there's no ultimate winner in terms of monetary value at the end of the season, but that money is shared across so that all these teams are able to fulfill their matches and benefit something. And then ubonakale kusiya phambili ngoba at the rate that it is, the rate things are going, we are on level 2 indefinitely, and we don't know what that means. What if it goes up until November?
Thank you so much, Mr. Skosana, for sharing with us this season for Kasilaga Premier Soccer League. For more information, you can catch us tomorrow here at same time, same place with your boy Unjabulo Proud Moe. That is it.